Beckster was the main protagonist of the pickup industry in Europe. Started when Ross Jeffries was the only guy out there sending out his newsletters. So you're going to get a really good insight from a guy who's been in the industry for 16 years. Right? Nobody can actually claim that. And we've got John here. He's his business partner. And I've got to say, both of these guys have spoken at the LSS bootcamp, but I've been at university for like 8 years. I've seen globe-trotting lecturers talk for years and years. I kid you not, John's style of talking is the most captivating I've heard for all of my years at uni studies. So you're in for a real treat. So let's get started. Let's give it up for John.
Everyone's waved the rain and then come out and stuff. I wish I had water with me. If everyone could get me a water quickly from someone, steal one of someone, that'd be awesome. But either way, we're trying to get through this, alright? So, what I'm here to talk to you about today is mindsets, beliefs, and reference points. So, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to kind of cover all those things, and I'm going to tell my story at the same time. Is that cool, yeah? Right, okay then. So, the reason that I got into this in the first place, like where my journey started, was that for a lot of my life, I had a problem with something called BDD. Now, BDD is actually a clinical illness. It's, think of like anorexia, but it's to do with your features. I would spend days and days and days locked up in a room at home, kind of looking at my face and like picking stuff that was wrong with it. And it was kind of, that was my view of the world. You know, like, I was basing what everybody thought about me, or what I perceived everybody to think about me, on what I thought about myself. So I look at myself and I think, you're ugly. Like, you don't deserve to talk to people, you know? Your value is so low compared to other people. And because that's what I believed, that's how I acted. That's what I put out there into the world. Like, I'm inferior to you. I'm not as good as you. I'm not as cool as you. That's what I put out there into the world. And so everybody here has got a limiting belief. Now, it may not affect them in what they're doing right now, today, but it will affect you in the future. It will come up. It will come to haunt you. That's what they do. They kind of lie there, and then something clicks one day, and they kind of jump up and get you. Now, the way to get over these things, I think that there are 4 stages that you need to go through. And this will help you guys in kind of learning what you're learning as well. It works in everything. So stage number 1 is it possible? Okay, and I'm going to cover these stages for you in a second, okay? Stage number 2 is, can I do it? Stage number 3 is, I'm enough. Stage number 4 is, wow, I'm enough. But I can be something more. I can be more than that. So, I'm going to go through stages. I go to my notes as well, so I want to sort of cover everything for you. So for me, so stage 1, is it possible? So for me, what I did was I kind of looked around at the people that were good at this, at the people that had kind of made themselves, that had kind of built themselves up. So you've got Tony Robbins, who kind of was a tall guy. That was his problem. He was taller than everybody else at school, and he was bullied because of that. But he overcome that. So, and for me, I looked at people like Nim Strauss. In fact, I looked at everybody that was good and pick up what we're learning. And I can look at them and I can think, you know what? It's not that amazingly good looking. You know? So I've had this view of the world. It's like map of reality, like you call it in NLP. And so for me, I'm focused. That's the way the world is. I've got this image of the world and I want everything to relate to that. So if somebody says that, there's some guy over there, he's just a normal guy, and he's like attracted to women, and like he's doing well in his life, there's a little dormant in my brain saying, yeah, that all sounds very good, but I don't believe it, like, you're not on the list, you're not getting in this, man. But then I can look at these people and I can think to myself, do you know what? It's not that good looking. Like Neil Strauss, like all the people that were good at this at the time, are not that amazingly good looking. So instead of looking around the world for truth that my view of the world is correct, which is what we all do, I started thinking, well maybe, just maybe, my view of the world isn't correct. Maybe it's not over here, it's over here. And that's when the first steps to change start. Because instead of looking at everything to kind of capitulate your belief, to make you correct, you start looking around the world and thinking, you know, like when you go and buy a car, and you haven't seen a red car for like years and years. But as soon as you want a red car, everybody's driving a red car, right? As soon as you want a Ford, everybody's driving that Ford. Probably even a Ferrari. You'll see a million Ferraris if you want a Ferrari, who knows? But as soon as you start looking for that, that's what you see. You know, as Carl Jung said, perception is projection. What you project into the world is what you get back. So you project the red car into the world, you get that back. You project into the world that I can be enough. Even if I'm not as aesthetically good looking as some people, even if I'm not as tall as some people, even if I haven't got as much hair as some people, you start projecting, even if I haven't got as much money as people, all these things we're told are important, you start projecting that into the world. And the world answers you back and says, there are people that have got awesome jobs. There are people that aren't tall that have got amazing girlfriends, that are doing really well in their life. You start finding this proof. Okay, so basically, you will not find it hard to find examples around the world for everything you think is a limiting belief for you. You've just got to start looking for it. The truth about this is, and the truth about anything really, is that nothing is a problem unless you believe it is. Whatever you think on the inside will be projected to the world outside. So when you guys go and approach girls in the daytime, if you think she's too hot for you, if you think she's too well dressed for you, if you think anything is a problem, it will be a problem. It will be a self-fulfilling prophecy. That is what will happen. Okay? Stage one is looking around the world. I've got this limiting belief, but is it correct? Is my view of the world right? Then you'll find it's not. So you start looking around the world, looking for proof that you are wrong. That's stage one. Stage two, can I do it? Can I do what these people are doing? Can I go out there and do what Neil Strauss is doing? Is he just a freak? I mean, I've found other examples like Neil, but are they just like weird cases? There's so many people in the world. Like, are they strange sort of phenomena like circus freaks or something? So then you have to go out and try it. You have to go out and see. You have to not be afraid of failure. A lot of guys get into this and they're afraid of failing. And it's because of the way we look at failure. A lot of people think that there's them in the middle, there's success one way, and there's failure the other. But it doesn't work like that. Even on a logical point of view for us guys, all great inventions, all great changes in the world have happened because somebody went through what other people might perceive as failure to get to success. I think of, say, Edison with the commercial light bulb. I can't remember if it was 6,000 or 10,000 attempts, but a lot of attempts to make a commercially working light bulb. And when he finally did it, the newspapers at the time said to him, well, what about all the failures? What failures? I just learnt 6,000 ways not to make a light bulb. There were no failures. It's the same with you guys. Don't be afraid of failure, because what then tends to happen is, a lot of guys that would get into this before, early on, would go with the routines and the canned lines, would go with other people's words. Because it was a quick fix. Unfortunately, the quick fix often causes the most damage in the long run. Because you go around being an alter ego for long enough, and what happens is, anything good that happens, you're like, yeah, it was Pickup Man, he did that, he was fucking awesome, man. Like, but anything bad that happens, you think, I'm still shit. Like, obviously wasn't enough like Pickup Man when I went out tonight. And like, you think, you know, you still bring yourself down, it hasn't improved you. Or you get a girlfriend, and a month later the words wear off, because it wasn't you that got her in the first place. So the quick fix often causes the most damage, because you have to undo all this bad behaviour to find you again. You know, it used to be in the community that it was like blasphemous to say, be your best self. It used to be like, people like that and scorn you for it. But these days, we've grown up, we've evolved. You know, you can be your best and most attractive self, because it's ridiculous to believe that none of us are attracted to girls in certain ways. It's also ridiculous to believe that girls are only attracted to one list of things. We have to kind of turn these switches. Yeah, I've got that one, and you just go through them. Because people get together still for so many different reasons. There are things that are universally attractive, and you can learn just simple things like conversation skills, non-verbal communication, verbal communication, especially in daytime. Just learning those skills and embedding them with becoming the person you want to be of having this image in mind and kind of aiming for it, but knowing it's within your reach, that's so, so important. So like I said, some of the pitfalls are that you go out and use other people's lines and things. Now, I think that the best way to actually learn this is, if you have problems, if you really don't know what to say to a girl when you approach, like a lot of us don't, then you go up and you do have a canned line. You have something that you know works and you say it. But you get used to saying it so much that by maybe the 50th time, you think, do you know what? That never really suited me, but I'm still getting in a conversation through it. I could have just gone and said hi. And I'd have got the same. So I'm just going to go and say hi for 50 now, see what happens. And you work backwards. So you have your opener. Maybe it doesn't suit you, but you're confident with it because you know it suits other people. It gets you in conversations. And then you think, I can just get rid of that. And that becomes you. That's your natural self. And maybe you're getting stuck in conversation. You think, oh, I need something to kind of spike this attraction, to take this further. You know, it's just a nice conversation. It's not going anywhere. So you take something that gets you used to being quite kind of sexual or playful or whatever it is you feel you're lacking, and you bring out those elements in yourself, because you've all got all these different elements. You can all be sexual, you can all be playful, you can all move things forward, you can all escalate, you can all do all these things. So you get these kind of things that get you used to doing it. And then you think, do you know what? I didn't need that. I know how that feels now to be sexual. I've embedded that. I've got that mindset and that concept. You get rid of that, and that becomes you. And you see how this works. You work backwards and backwards and backwards. And before long, you've embedded all these concepts and all these mindsets, and you get to step 3, which is, I'm enough. Stage 3. I am enough. Now imagine that change in mindset, whereas instead of approaching a girl, thinking, I need these routines, I need these lines, I need to say all this weird stuff to her, and all that's happening is, you're in your head, you're thinking, what do I say next, what do I say next? She's standing there and she's thinking, there's something not quite right about this guy, his words don't match his actions, there's something not quite right. So your communication is stopping here at, what do I say next? Her communication is stopping at her head with, what's wrong with this guy? And there's no communication going on. There's barriers either side. Whereas when you approach it yourself, even if it doesn't go right, you're just cool. You're just chilled. You approach and go like, I'm enough for you. You know, it's cool. So then maybe if you make a jump and you approach, it's literally just a case of, if she jumps, instead of falling into her reality, you're like, it's cool. It's cool. Like, and because I think that the biggest things when you approach a girl, I think there's only 2 things you need to worry about. 1, taking her out of her reality, and 2, bringing her into your reality. So if you're really comfortable in your reality, she'll be happy to be there. She'll be happy to stand and talk to you. Because it seems like it's the most normal thing in the world to stand and talk to you. That's why with all the different approaches, so if you run around a girl and you stop her like that, she wants to see that you've got comfortable eye contact. If you've got comfortable eye contact and she knows it's normal and it's cool, then you bring her into your reality. You know, even if little things, like if you stop a girl from the side but she doesn't turn quite the way round, if you just kind of make a step and make her move round, she's come into your reality. Okay, you're bringing her into your reality. I wasn't going to give away many tips today, but just because I'm here. So a great thing to do, I don't think anybody does, is, you know, girls have their earphones in, and so once you wait for them, you're kind of in their world, right? Just try a few approaches with a girl with your earphones in. So stop them and like, hey, wait. Let her wait while you take your earphones out. Totally into your reality. Totally out of her world. She's waiting for you, she's already investing, she's in your reality. You can call it a John Stop if you want, who cares. So that's the good thing about, you know, being comfortable in yourself. You've got time, you embed all these qualities that the routines kind of fake. I don't believe you fake it till you make it. I don't think you ever do make it. Like, you know, there's old things like, oh, good comfortable body language, you're standing like this with a string through your head, and I feel like I'm fat when I stand like that. I feel like the guy down the gym who's walking around like this wants to show me how big he is, because he's not doing it for him. He's doing that for me, for my benefit. You know, and the big thing here is that you're comfortable in yourself. So you don't need to do that and stand like that, because it's not for your benefit. Comfortable body language is however you feel comfortable standing. It's as simple as that. You don't need to read books about a lot of this stuff. It's as simple as if you're comfortable standing, if you're comfortable talking, then all the sub-communication is working for you. It's not a problem. Okay, so ways to learn this stuff, ways to embed this stuff. So we already covered, don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to fail, because there is no failure. And in fact, what I'd recommend for all you guys to do is to find a reason, a proper reason, why you're approaching a girl that also justifies any bad response. So for example, my reason is, when I'm approaching a girl, I'm generally approaching to see if she is a cool person, to see if she's the kind of person I'd like to have a conversation with. So if I open her in that way, with that vibe, and she's not cool to me, then I just think, well, she's not that type of person. So do you see what I mean? So maybe for you guys, you just want to go out there and you generally want to get better and learn the skill set. So every time you approach, if you get a bad response, you've still learned something. It satisfies your reason for approaching. So for a lot of you who haven't got this reason, just randomly going up talking to girls, have a reason for approaching that also justifies any bad response you think you've got. So it turns it not into a bad response anymore. Do you all get what I mean by that, yeah? That's really, really important.
Can you just explain that a little bit?
Yeah, so say I'm approaching you and I think, I just want to see if you're cool. Right? So I go up and my opener is like something like, I might even say, hey, you're cool. Yeah. Like that. And so with a cool vibe, and because I'm not saying any lines, then if you're not cool to me, I'm like, no, and you walk off. Right. I don't think it's a bad response. I just think I was testing you. Right. Like to see if you're cool. Like you weren't. Right. So okay. That's that out of the way. I don't embed it because I've got a reason for approaching. Right. And also justifies the bad response you just gave me. You weren't cool. Right. So I don't need to worry about it. That's what I went to find out. Maybe yours will be you're just going because you want to find the person perfect for you. And you know that the best way to do that is get used to talking to loads of girls. So anytime you're in a conversation with a girl, that satisfies that end purpose. Right. So if there's a bad response, it's not. Because you can smile, because you know that perceived failure, what you might have thought was failure, isn't anymore, because it's actually brought you one step closer to success. Remember, not failure and success, but failure, success. Okay? Did you get it? Yeah, I get that. Okay, cool. So the other thing is, don't set unrealistic expectations. So a lot of guys go out, I'm going to approach 5 girls today, and and I'm going to do this. I'm going don't do it, because you're setting boundaries and barriers on yourself. Really, if you're going out to practice, and again, make sure it satisfies your reason for doing it. So I'm a really bad practicer because it doesn't satisfy my reason going out to see if girls are cool. It just doesn't mix for me. Just going out just to practice talking to girls, it doesn't work for me. But it'll work for a lot of you. So when you're going out practicing, instead of saying, oh, I'm going to do 5 sets of girls today, which maybe you'll meet the 5 girls that day that you've got the worst responses from in the world. Well, how do you feel about yourself at the end of that day? So just think to yourself, have your reason, just think, if you are going out to practice, I'm warmed up when the first set goes well. Because you will be, that's when your social momentum will start. But don't set figures, in 2 weeks I'm going to be able to do this, in 4 months I'm going to be able to do this. You're just limiting yourself. It's another limiting belief. You'll have enough of those already. It's one that you don't need. It's one that you don't need to be using. But keep track of your successes. Write them down. Write down anything good that happened. Analyse only at the end of the day, not afterwards. And that's how you learn. Because the other thing is, as well as having a reason for going out and doing these things, it satisfies any bad responses. What also happens is that because in working in line with you becoming your best selves is the skill set, is the conversational skills and things like that, is just the fact of getting used to approaching girls. These work in tandem. So blame any negative responses on the skill set, because that's all it is. You stop a girl, she walks away after 2 seconds. She doesn't know you. So what happened? Maybe you didn't stop her right. She didn't turn enough. She was having a bad day. It's never you, because this is a learnable skill set. It's never ever you. You're going to have more chance when you go and approach a girl when you know that you're enough. But any responses you get while you're learning, it's the skill set. You could have done something different. You're enough. You could have done something a different way. Analyse it later, see what you could have done. So stage, what stage are we on now? We're still on stage 3 or stage 4? Hey! Hey, Poets Corner. Poets Corner. Poets Corner.
Gay man's meeting.
Okay, every day, I'm joking, I'm fucking off.
He's famous now, and he doesn't know. It's in the whole community that doesn't find so stage 4 is, wow, I'm enough, but I could be even more. And this is, so you've gone through the stage, now you're approaching the girl, and you're approaching with this cool vibe because you believe in yourself. You've got all these great reference points, all these cool things have happened. So you're reframing everything basically. So where it used to be information come in, you just bounce off. Now it comes in, you're like, no, I can do this. I did this the other day. Yeah, it's just a skill set. It's not me. Like, you know, it's just shit day today. Self-acceptance is really important at this stage. It's just everybody wakes up in the morning and they feel worse some days than others. You know, so at those days you can go out and you can literally prove to yourself that your reference points are right. Like me and Jan went out the other day, didn't we? And I dressed so scruffy, and I bumped into fans. And I was only talking to really hot business women, and people dressed really well. Just because I know that it does kind of make a difference, because you'll value when you approach them. So I was approaching with something really harsh and really hard, and you can see, because you challenge them straight away, you can see it's like a tramp coming up to them. And like, even if they talk to you, you can see that your value is different. Now, don't go out and like cut off your nose and spy your face doing this stuff. Yeah, it is a skill set. I could go out for the next 6 weeks and get really good going out scruffy and talking to well-dressed women. But I don't dress like that normally anyway. I don't see the point in making it difficult for myself. But I've spent a day going out, pushing myself out of my comfort zone, which you all need to do, just to realise that what I think is correct in the world is correct. So as much as looking for new learnings that your view of the world is wrong, you also want to cement that your view of the world is right. So when I approach a woman who's high value and I look low value, will that affect the conversation? Yes. So I've gone and found that out. So now I can proceed like that. It's a learning I've got. So when a guy comes up to me and he's learning, he's got the same problem, I can honestly say, yes, I'm not just guessing. You know, we don't want to, we don't want to mislead guys. We don't want to guess at things. You know, we're all in here to help each other, and there's no need for egos. That's a lot of the problem in this. That, you know, a lot of people for a lot of companies, you'll go to them for a weekend, and the thing they want most in the world is for you to leave at the end of that weekend saying, oh, he's an awesome pickup artist. I've learned nothing, but I've watched him and he's fucking awesome. I don't want that. I'd rather you come to us or come to anyone. Like, learn yourself. It doesn't matter. But just learn the correct way and just help each other. So if you go out one day and you've had a shit day, don't go and tell your mate the next day, oh, I've got 10 numbers and like I was down an alley like fucking some girl, it's awesome. Go and tell your mate the truth, because he'll learn from it as well. You'll both like learn together. You know, there's no need for egos in this. There's no need for your mate to think you're better than you are. It's not going to help either of you like that, okay? So the last thing that I'd say, sort of on the matter is, so as much as going out and being more, so doing all the things that you always wanted to do. You know, living your life the way you always wanted to live it, without boundaries. But also, as well as that, try and create win-win situations, guys. Because going back to the ego stuff, you know, a lot of us that are in this, and maybe a lot of you too, have all had issues growing up. And often you overcome them and you become better because you've had something to overcome. But the danger is that in building your own ego, in making yourself better, you put other people down. So you're approaching girls on the street and you're using these magic words and stuff, and you're not really sincere with it. But all you're doing is you're making them feel shit to build your own ego. There's no need to do that. If you want one-night stand girls, you will find the one-night stand girls. Perception is projection, remember. Put it out there that you want one-night stand. You're into one-night stand girls, you'll find them. If you want threesome girls, you'll find them. Whatever type of girl you want, you'll find them. Just be authentic. I don't know, you've got no time.
Wow.
Just I've put home.
Shitty chow. Fucking have a go.
He's already been on it. He's done this.
Have a go. You never know.
Yeah, so win-win situations. Be calm, be in your own reality. Is it his own reality though, right? Isn't it? Sorry? Yeah. It was working, I told you. I'm wrapping up this shit in a minute. I'm going to find that dude. Like, it's got me hooked. So yeah, win-win guys. Like, there's no need to go out making yourself feel better at the expense of other people. That's not the way to be your best self. That's not the way to be an attractive guy. That's not how high value guys act, okay? So win-win situations. Be the best you can, make your life better and everybody else's, okay?